Shri Sai Ram, Dharma Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba. Chapter 2. Atma Dharma is the foundation for all dharmas. Dharma has no bounds. It cannot be restricted to any particular society or nation. It is applicable to all living beings. It is a flame of light that can never be extinguished. It is untrammeled and self-standing. Lord Krishna taught the Gita using Arjuna as a formal cause or instrument. Gita now pertains to all individuals and has gained immense popularity. It is not set apart for any particular class, religion, or race. It is the very breath for mankind. Dharma expresses itself in a variety of forms across the world, known sometimes by the persons who codified it like Manu Dharma, sometimes by Varna Dharma, sometimes by the stage of life to which it is applied like Grihastha Dharma or the householder Dharma, Vanaprastha Dharma, Sannyasa Dharma and Brahmacharya Dharma. But all these are Achara Dharmas or the rules intended to regulate one's behavior, but not the Antaratta Dharma or the fundamental Dharma, the Atma Dharma, the Deva Dharma or the divine Dharma that I am speaking of. The above mentioned Achara Dharmas are Deha Dharmas. The very instrument of those rules, the body, is itself not permanent. Even this Prakriti of the objective world itself is not permanent. How then these Achara Dharmas be eternal? How can their Sharam or essential nature be described as true? The sthira or the eternal cannot be expressed by the asthira. Evanescent, satya or truth cannot reveal itself in a satya or untruth. Light cannot be procured from darkness. Sthira can emerge only from sthira. Satya can emanate only from satya. Therefore, the objective codes of dharma relating to worldly activities and daily life, though important in their own sphere, have to be followed in accordance with the basic Atma Dharma. Then only can the eternal and external urges cooperate and yield the bliss of following one single Dharma, that is Atma Dharma, without neglecting or ignoring the true Dharma. If you merge the fundamental Dharma with Achara Dharmas, then it becomes very easy to practice Atma Dharma. Viewing God as a stone, that is the effort being made today. How can such effort lead to Satya or truth? See the stone as God, that is real Dharma. How it is done is first the form of the Godhead has to be meditated upon and imprinted on the consciousness. Then that form has to be conceived within the stone. Then the stone is forgotten in the process, and finally you will only experience God. In the same way, you have to fix your focus on the basic Dharma, the Atma Dharma, as the only entity, and then, filled with that faith and vision, you have to follow the manifold Achara Dharmas of the world. If this is done, there is no danger of authentic meaning getting diluted or extinction of the flame of Atma Dharma, isn't it? What happens when a stone is worshipped as God? The unlimited, the ever-present, the all-pervading immanent entity, the Absolute is visualized in the particular in concrete form. Similarly, Dharma, which is universal, equal to all and independent, can be experienced while practicing each and every worldly act. Do not be misled by the idea that this is not possible. Don't you try to accomplish a lot of impossible, futile acts that finally end up in giving you unrest and anxiety. So, can you not take up instead beneficial dharmic activities which will give you peace of mind? To be independent is your birthright, but not to be bound. It is only when you guide your steps along the path illumined by the universal, unbound Dharma that you are really free. If you stray away from that light, you get bound and you are caught. Dharma is Swatantra Swarupa, that is to say, it has no bounds, it is independent. But some might raise a doubt on this fact. Even from a worldly perspective, do you believe that you can be free? No. Without a proper idea about what freedom actually is, you call a certain type of enslavement as freedom and another type of enslavement as bondage. Atma Dharma, which is free from Dheya Bhranti or delusion caused by the attachment to the external world and to the body, is true freedom. People who have escaped from this Deha Bhranti and achieved freedom in the genuine sense are very few in number. Every act done with Deha Drishti or the worldly objective and with Deha Tadatyam or the body consciousness is a kind of bondage. Body consciousness and being slave to senses is real bondage. Only those who have discarded this notion are considered to be truly Swatantra or free. To achieve that Swatantrata, freedom is true Dharma. With that Dharma constantly in mind, if one engages in the activity of living, he can become a Mukta Purusha or liberated being. Those who want to become a Mukta Purusha should achieve the above mentioned Dharma and Swatantra. Reason for not being able to achieve such Dharma is you bind yourself. It is always so, and no other person can bind you. You do it yourself. When Atma dwells in all beings, God is present equally in all beings. If such a faith in God's omnipresence is deep-rooted, it will give you Nishchita Jnana or the steadfast wisdom that would make you aware that the Lord present within can never be bound. As Atma Dharma has become a far-fetched thing for people, they are not able to have such deep-rooted faith in the omnipresent God. And without such deep-rooted faith in God's omnipresence, Nishchita Jnana cannot shine. Devoid of that Nishchita Jnana, one becomes blind, bound, and will be prone to predicaments and troubles. The goddess of Dharma will not choose such. Therefore, first endeavor to become Swatantra or free. As a preliminary to such endeavor, cultivate immense faith in the Atma Dharma and practice the true Dharma in all Achara Dharmas, prescribed duties of the world. Only then can you be regarded as a moral individual, a Dharma Purusha, as the one who practices Dharma. On the other hand, if you practice temporal duties related to the objective world or the body as true Dharmas, life becomes meaningless and you cannot be regarded as Dharma Purusha. Seeing the Atma Dharma in all worldly Dharma is as holy as elevating stone into God. If the duties of worldly life are done ignoring the true Atma Dharma, it is an unholy as treating God as stone. The Achara Dharmas pursued apart from true Atma Dharma and the pursuing true Atma Dharma divorced from Achara Dharmas are both barren of results. They are both inextricably intertwined and should be treated as such and practiced in union. The senior officer needs the work of the junior official as much as the junior official needs the financial help of the senior officer. Who then is the bound one and who is free? Both are bound to their respective desires. Until the fundamental principle of the Atma is recognized, the outer state of bondage or servitude will be inevitable for anyone. When the principle of the Atma is recognized, Dasya Bhava or the attitude of servitude will be diminished. Then the Prakriti Dharma or the code of behavior towards the objective world will be merged with the Paramatma Dharma. Vedanta, Adhyatmika, Shastra and Dharma all over man to live and act as Bhagavan or God and not as Banisha or bondman. Then all acts become Dharma Karma or the virtuous acts and not Kamya Karma or the acts done with intent to gain the fruits thereof. The shackles of bondage cannot be avoided by a mere change of the type of activity. They can be avoided only by changing the point of view from the Deha to the Deva, mortal to the immortal. The moral qualities also will be rendered stronger thereby. Some people hold the opinion that being employed is bondage, while sitting at home without any specific work is freedom. This is a sign of want of intelligence and delusion. When employed in a job, one has to obey the superior officer. But can one escape the demands and compulsions of relatives even while at home? Well, even when one is amidst friends only, one can avoid the necessity of acting according to their fancy. Finally, can one be free at least from the need to take care of one's own body and cater to one's comfort? How then can one have a chance to feel free from the cage of bondage? All life is a prison, regardless of the differences in the types of bondage. It is so as long as the attitude of identifying the self with the body is there. That is why once Shankara, that is Adi Shankaracharya, said, Naraka or hell means nothing but nothing by the Deha Abhimanam or the body consciousness. Deha Abhimanam is just another form of Devya Vimuktaha, Vimukhatva, God, aversion, attitude. Who can remove all the thorns and pebbles from the face of the earth? None can succeed in this. The only way to avoid them is to move about with footwear. So too, true dharma, which makes one free in the true sense, can be attained only with satya drishti or the vision fixed on the reality, with full faith in the Brahman, which is your own essential nature. That is what is revealed by Vedanta. All other changes made externally will only give temporary relief. He who tramples down egotism and he declares with conviction thus, I am not the bondman of this body, which is the repository of all types of servitude. The body is my bondman. I am the master of everything. I am the embodiment of freedom, is liberated. All dharmas or codes of duties must help in this process of the destruction of ahamkara or ego. They should not foster it and make it grow wild. This is the sutram or the principle. This is swatantrayam or freedom. If a person, finding it miserable to live with the son, goes to the daughter and lives in her house, that is not winning freedom. That is only a way of feeding the ego. Also, Leaving home in search of the comfort and happiness of the senses cannot be considered as dharma. One may leave home or any other things for the sake of experiencing divine bliss, divine happiness, and for undisturbed contemplation on the Lord. God is Vimukti Swarupa, embodiment of freedom or liberation. So, experiencing oneness with the divine is the true dharma of the individual and is true liberation. A person who has reached that stage can never be bound, even if he is put in the grimmest of prisons. On the other hand, for a person who is the slave of the body, even a blade of grass can bind him and become the instrument of death. Atma Nimagatnata. To be immersed in the Atmic bliss, Antarmukta or inner vision, Swarupa Nishtha, steady faith in the identity of one's real nature with the Absolute, and Brahma Jnanam, that is the realization that all is Brahman. These four alone are the true dharmas. Only these can confer Swatantrayam or the freedom. In order to facilitate putting these four into practice in all the Bhautika, Dehacharanas, prescribed activities or courses of conduct pertaining to the body and the objective world, though under different names, yet latently saturated with the Antar Dharma or the Atma Dharma, and made popular as Satya, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa or truth, peace, love, and non-violence. The mode of pursuit of Dharma now, as in the past, is to translate these four high principles in every act, thought, and in all matters. The Satya, Shanti, Prema, and Ahimsa of today are but the four true dharmas of the past. Atma, Nimaganata, Antarmukhata, Swarupa Nishtha, and Brahma Jnanam Dharma. In these two sets of four must be coordinated and harmonized. Then only can it be termed Atma Dharma. It does not matter what your activity is or what name and form you have chosen. A chain is a chain, whatever the material it binds. Whether it is iron or gold, isn't it? So too, whether the work is of this type or that, as long as the Atma Dharma is the base and the Atma Tattvam or the absolute principle is the root, it is true Dharma beyond doubt. Such work will bless one with the fruit of Shanti or peace. But if one is driven by the waves of Ahamkara or egoism, either into the privacy of the home or the loneliness of the forest or to any other refuge, it is impossible to escape suffering. Does a snake cease to be a snake when it lies sleeping or when it does not open its hoot? In whichever way it is a snake, so too Dharma does not cease to be a Dharma when the worldly activities are motivated by the basic principle of the reality of the Atma. Every act embedded with the fundamental Atma Dharma becomes stamped with the real seal, with the seal of Dharma. But when the acts or the rules are framed as motivated by convenience and selfish interest, even if you call them as true Dharma or freedom, they become pseudo-Dharma or pseudo-freedom. They are nothing but varying forms of bondage or slavery, and they can never become true Dharma. These pseudo-Dharmas are like the warders around a prisoner. They are always there around the prisoner, restricting his movements, whether he is taken to a court or for dining. Why? Even the feeling of friend or foe is an error. This delusion has to be given up. The Lord, the embodiment of prema or love, is the only constant bandhava or the relative Sambhavya or the venerable person, Ashraya or refuge, Poshaka, sustainer, and Hita, well-wisher. Know this and live in the shade of that knowledge. This is the Jnanamaya Dharma, Dharma built on the bedrock of understanding, and the Dharmamaya Jivamana, the life built on the bedrock of Dharma, ignoring this fundamental basis. And when the attention is on external polish and changes, the goal becomes unachievable. Jagrati or the attachment, Jagatrati or the attachment to the world can be destroyed by Harirati or attachment to the Lord. Why complain that the ground cannot be seen when what you see have been all the while doing is to fix your gaze on the sky? Watch the ground and look at the sheet of water that reflects the sky. Then you can see at the same time the sky above and the earth below. So too, to adhere to the true Dharma, which after all is the immanent Atmic principle, man must see in every worldly act the reflection of the glory of the Atma. Then he can fulfill both Atma Dharma and the worldly Dharma together at the same time. That is to say, attachment to the Lord will transmute attachment to the world into a pure offering. However, the goal should not be altered or lowered. That is to say, the essentials, the intent, should be kept intact. Dharma does not depend on the various names and forms, for they may change and are not so basic. It depends more on the motives and the feelings that direct it and canalize it. Jai Sai Ram.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ